Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Yes.
Woo!
Last week, we quizzed Timon on some basketball terms, and people seem to like it. So we're going to do some more sports terms.
We all learned a little something.
So first of all, Timon, we're gonna give you a term, and we're going to ask for the sport of origin, okay. For this term. And then if you just wouldn't mind explaining it.
Okay, cool.
We'll start out easy. Double play. Sport of origin.
Football.
Yep.
And then this is where it's like both teams, it's the only time that two footballs are involved. And it's like just throwing from both started on either end of the field, and like you throw them to the other side, and then whichever catches it first, they start the next one.
That's
a double play.
That's so fun and so right. That's why it was the first one. It was supposed to be, an easy one.
Easy. Yeah.
Alley-oop, if you will.
Chinese checkers. And then they're like, let's just call it double play.
Let's call it double play.
Yeah.
Makes more sense.
All right, Timon, next one. Need to know sport and definition.
Okay.
Corner blitz.
Mm-hmm. Corner blitz, that's soccer. And that's just like, you've heard of corner kick.
Yep, corner kick.
And it's just like Dutch blitz is involved.
Yes, exactly.
I can't remember exactly how, but I know it's involved somehow.
Yeah, there's one corner that is kicking, and the other corner is playing Dutch blitz.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good.
Thanks.
All right. What about this one? Let's go ground ball.
Ground ball.
A ground ball.
Okay. Ground ball. I think this is rugby. This is rugby, and it's just where you like have to roll on the ground while you're holding the
Right.
ball.
Yeah. Like roly-poly style.
Only women's rugby, I think.
Okay.
Yep. It's a special rule for them.
Yep. Because they can do it easier. It's just
Yeah.
let's just not get into the physics of it, but let's just say they can do it easier. Okay. Right.
That's right. That's right. All right, Timon, sport and definition. Icing.
Now this is baseball.
Yeah, you would think it'd be something that has ice in it.
No,
That's not.
this is baseball.
No, this is baseball because this is when like this came from Babe Ruth.
Yes.
He would like
What was that thing he always did?
he put spin on the ball when he would pitch.
Yep.
He was a famous pitcher.
Yes.
And it was like that is sweet like icing. And now they call it that every time you put a spin on the ball.
When you spin the ball,
When you put a spin on the ball.
you put
Put
a
a
spin
spin
on it.
on it.
When you cast a spin on the ball.
Yeah, you take your wand and you say Expelliarmus. Very good.
Spin for me, ball.
Okay. You want me to keep going, time?
Actually, I was thinking I could quiz you guys
Okay.
on
baseball?
Sports terms?
Yeah.
Well, you'll see. It's actually something I know more about theater terms. Is that okay?
Well, yeah. You've been into play.
We're a couple thespians ourselves.
Yeah. I was Charbonneau for the Lewis and Clark play in 4th grade.
Yeah. I don't
Frenchman.
remember the exact numbers, but I think I've talked about it before. I was narrator like number 9, 17, 26, 34. They didn't have it just all be one. I filled the role of 6 narrators.
Those were the important ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They wanted people to think like narrator 1's important. It's like, no. Those people are just like, get them out of the way so they forget about them.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
I'm ready.
We'll start off easy. House.
Yeah.
House?
So in America, it's just a place you live in. Like a place. So I guess in a theater, it'd just be like the whole thing, like the whole play. If someone like, there's one person for every play that like has to live in the theater, right? Like that's, you said that even like touring, there was always a guy that was like, you would like do a secret knock on the side door and he would come with his pillow in his arm.
Sometimes there's a riddle. Not every time.
Right.
No. In the older theaters, yeah.
You say password and you'd be like, Expelliarmus. And then he lets you in and then he goes back to his place where he's sleeping. That's his job.
That was the thing. I was nervous to talk about it when I was touring just because I didn't know if it was like apropos. But it was like, all right, you're our lighting guy. Okay, awesome. You're our sound guy. And then who's this? You're like, I'm the house guy.
Yeah.
I live here.
House guy.
Don't bother me.
So
Yeah, I shortened it to house guy.
House
is
guy.
Typically it's the more like professional term. But
well, there was
Greenleaf just called it house.
There was a show when we were growing up called House, and it was all about. I
guy who lived in a hospital. But
I never watched it, but yeah, I believe it was a theatrical hospital, right?
Yeah.
House MD, yeah. So easy, yeah. Thank you, for lobbing it.
Blackout.
Super drug.
This is something. Oh
no, were you
Blackout? I think this is something
stressful job.
It could be. Yeah, it could be.
Blackout.
This is like a certain type of like performance where it's like, hey, we're doing like Stomp is coming to town.
Oh, okay.
White people aren't really gonna be able to like clap in rhythm.
I see.
We might just want to do a blackout.
Just do a blackout.
Yeah.
Got it.
And just only let them
just
watch.
Exclusively them.
Yeah, because the white people won't be able to enjoy it as much. Hey, Blue Man Group's coming to town. Should we just do Blackout?
Just Blackout.
Let's just do Blackout.
They're doing Blue Out.
Yeah, the performers aren't going to enjoy it enough. We got white people back there snapping and clapping their best and hooping and hollering. It's not the same. Let's just do Blackout.
I think I would understand what Blackout meant if I went to a show recently that was truly like completely dark on the stage. But the last show I went to was Time and Sense and Sensibility with the candle doing the thing.
Wasn't a full blackout.
I think that's supposed to be when it's black. It's like, hey, okay, scene's over, blackout.
Yeah.
But I could still see that candle, clear as day.
Expelliarmus.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to like get a slightly harder each time. We'll see. Quick change.
Quick
Kind of
change.
the easiest one probably.
Yeah, that's. What is that's like? It's.
I thought it was motor oil stuff.
I was gonna say I thought it was like a NASCAR term.
Yeah, but okay, theater.
Do you guys have a pit crew too?
Yeah.
Or a pit?
You guys have
Yeah.
lug nuts?
You have a pit?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
A quick change pit.
All right, so this must be something where an audience, like if you're having trouble selling tickets, so you're like, hey, we need some of the cast to go fill some seats.
Oh.
And you go sit in the audience and like, hey, your scene's up. You quickly change into a performer. You do your scene.
Or an audience member, you mean?
Well, they start in the audience. And then, hey, my scene's up.
I see.
I'm a performer now. And then when you're done, you go back in the audience and you put butts in seats.
That's a good idea because sometimes I'll go to a play and it'll feel like that wasn't that funny. And there's people in the audience that are dying laughing. And I'm like, they must be quick changers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't think you guys would get that one. Yeah, that's great. This one, this is more voice, head voice.
Head voice.
Head voice. You could say head voice or head voice.
Yeah, it's just like, listen, the theater's a mental game and you got a lot of voices in your head. You got a lot of head voice, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's like a type of kind of like a theater-based anxiety. Ah, gosh. I'm in my head voice right now.
Hey, break a leg. Thank you, man. I needed that. My head voice is heavy. Right?
Yeah.
Like you're doing prayer requests at church that week. Honestly, guys, like I could just be praying. If you guys could just be praying for my head voice.
I got a 10-pound head voice this week.
I'm narrators 18, 19, 44, 65, and gosh, I know this one's crazy, but 78 this week.
Massive head voice.
Is that good?
Yeah, that was it. I got two more for you guys.
All right, thank you.
Downstage.
Careful.
Yeah, this isn't good.
Yeah.
Don't want you knowing about this. So downstage, how do we say this to not give it away totally? Because it is kind of inappropriate. Rapunzel would let her hair down. Mm-hmm. But then, who was her kind of love interest?
Was it? I don't think it is, but Tasmanian Devil? I don't think it is.
I think it's someone like that.
Was it
was it
the T-Dev?
Cartoon Network?
Okay, I think so.
They were then invited to also go downstage.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say. Shame on you, Timon.
Yeah, sorry. I should have gone there. One more.
Tasmanian.
One more. Glottal stop.
Glottal stop. Okay, that's a percussion instrument.
How's it sound?
Glottal stop. Glottal stop. Like that, right?
And now let's say it was a blackout. Now how would it sound? Thanks for trying.
Yeah, you're welcome, brother.
You always will. You always will.
Oh my goodness. Ooh, I think this tight beat means that it's going down with some random thoughts and white meat too. Midwest best friends eating fast food on repeat. So come along, let's have some fun and go ahead, get on your feet, cause it's the Ghostrunners podcast. Every Monday morning we're taking back Ghostrunners podcast. Who are you texting over there?
A volleyball team. I feel like people are trying to bail tonight. I'm like, hey, I got a flight at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I'm still going tonight.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy, man. Like trying to audition while I'm playing. Dude, no way, dude.
Really? Some people don't want to play.
No way, dude. That's wild, dude. That's wild, dude.
So you might be down like a guy or two?
Yeah. Really, dude? Okay, no problem. Sure that I also had to play basketball just in case. Huh, dude.
Okay.
Crazy, dude. Crazy, dude. Oh, man. Are you guys still undefeated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sent a text to the guy a couple weeks ago. I was like, what can we do to get a little better competition? And he was like, we can try next time, maybe. I don't know. Also, the team we're playing tonight isn't playing at all, or like they bailed or whatever. So we haven't played in like 3 weeks.
Oh. So you're not playing? This was last week?
That was last week, yeah. But yeah, tonight's a 9:30 game.
Okay.
Rachel and I, we got in bed last night at 8:30.
Yeah.
Watched an episode of Severance, so probably fell asleep at like 9:15. And we woke up this morning and we're like, Rachel, we play a game tonight once we were already asleep last night. That's insane. Yeah, then flying to South Dakota first thing in the morning tomorrow.
Where does that go through? Chicago?
Minneapolis.
Okay. Yeah, isn't it funny to like, that's just such an adult thing. Like Timon heard that you went to bed at 9:15 and he rolled his eyes. And I'm like, heck yeah, dude. Like, let's
crazy.
go.
We don't normally do that, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
Because then I woke up at, 6:15, but I had slept 9 hours.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was awesome. I was still running late. That's what's really amazing.
Well, it's just simple math, but I try to explain it to Catherine all the time. I'm like, listen, if you go to bed at 9:30, you can get 8 hours of sleep and get up at 5:30.
Yeah.
Like, it's like everyone knows the math, but like you have to say it out. You have to say it out loud to like make yourself convinced. Like,
same thing with the temperature. It's like the difference in 40 and 70 is the same in 40 and 10.
Yeah.
But isn't it
something's different here. Yeah.
Weird though about it?
Yeah, man. That's I remember, do you remember in college, like, well, at least K-State's intramurals, the latest slot was always 11:30.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, they wouldn't let Baptists be out that late. That wasn't allowed for us.
Curfew.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that.
What was curfew at your school?
First semester, freshman year, I think weeknight had to be back in your dorm by midnight.
Okay. That's not terrible.
It really wasn't. It's like not the worst thing to like build decent habits.
Right.
And then weekends, 2 a.m.
Okay.
Back in your dorm.
And it was never co-ed in the rooms, or like,
I think every other Thursday,
you
could get crazy.
Social Thursdays.
And let me tell you how crazy we got. Girl signs in.
Yeah.
Hot.
Oh yeah. You get to see how she signs that name.
Yeah, she signs in. Yeah, I'd like to visit Landon from 6 to 8. Landon being the dorm and maybe the person.
Oh, sure.
And then you go up, and I think the rules were door has to be open.
Mm-hmm.
And all 4 on the floor.
4 on the floor.
Which is like your hands and knees.
At least one of you always has to have 4 on the floor.
It's like an improv game.
It's like Twister. Like, I don't know. We have to play Twister the entire time.
Yeah, something. But so like all 4 feet had to be on the floor.
Okay, yeah.
And so that was enough to make me never do it.
Really?
Or just like, I don't want a girl seeing my room. It wasn't like I had any kind of crazy interest or like ulterior motives. It was just like, no, I'm 19 years old. My place is a slum. I don't want a girl seeing that. I'll go hang out with her. I don't know. Actually, I didn't do a lot of hanging out with girls at all. It was like, do you want to go run from security with me? She's like, no. And I was like, all right, I'll just go do it with Chris.
No problem. Yeah.
All good.
What was your dorm room like? Because I know you post-college, and I saw your room. Was it like that? Was it just like, clothes strewn about?
I feel like most men are a lot like liquid or gas. You know where I'm going with this? We fill the shape of our container.
Okay.
We're like, if I lived in a 3-story house, I would still find a way to make that messy.
Yeah.
Like on the slightly messy side. If I live in a small dorm, I will make that small dorm slightly messy.
Okay.
Like if it ever gets extreme, I feel like you clean it up. But yeah, I will always have a slightly messy car, a slightly messy room.
You're saying like 6 out of 10 messy. Maybe.
Yes. So yeah, like there were things like never like dirty, never just like an old, like some guy dorm rooms you walk in, it's like, what is that smell? Oh, that's my old shaker bottle. I really need to wash out. You know, it's never anything like really gross. Never had like silverware rotting in the bed or anything. But yeah, like, oh, that's my clean clothes pile. That's my dirty clothes pile. Yeah, no one else knows the difference with me.
Yeah. More clothes than it is like, oh, you just have a pizza box over there from 4 days ago or something. It's like, no, throw that away.
So yeah, somewhat messy. And the dorm I lived in was suite style.
Oh,
so shared, 2 rooms with a shared bathroom in between it.
Okay.
So you share a shower with 3 dudes, you share a bathroom, toilet with 3 dudes.
Must be nice living the sweet life.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Did you have any, I'm going to guess no, but did you have any decorations in your dorm room?
No,
Nothing
not
on
at
the
all.
walls?
We had like cement walls. So I mean, you couldn't even like do anything if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I think cement would be the right word.
Cinder block?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
hard.
that's what ours were. Yeah. And I used like command strips to put stuff up.
Oh, that's nice.
And by put stuff up, I think I bought there was like a poster sale in the Union one time where it was like, it was one of those things where you think you're getting the best deal ever on these posters because it's a sale at the Union.
Running a sale.
And I bought this massive Beatles poster, and that was my decorations.
The closest we got to decorating was I hid a bunch of things above the bathroom.
Okay.
It's like in the shared bathroom, it had ceiling tiles in there. And so I hid a bunch of things up top in that dorm. So that was kind of like decor. So 329, 331, Landon, 3rd floor, 3rd south.
You think they're still there?
Surprises up there for you.
Do you remember what you had up there?
No, I really don't. I mean,
That's
I think
fun.
I wrote like a note, almost like a time capsule kind of thing. And then a bunch of other random crud.
You were kind of Walter Whiting before that was a thing, Like
I was, yeah.
you were
There was
stocking up.
methylamine and a bunch of other cool stuff.
I haven't watched it yet, but you mentioned Severance. Are you into it?
Yeah, it's great. It's very interesting because Rachel said this last night, and I 100% agree. She's like, if other people weren't talking about it, I don't know if I would have kept watching.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's a little slow, and it's just like, they don't tell you anything.
Okay.
I mean, you're just confused. I mean, we're on the season finale now.
Oh, wow.
I don't have a clue what's going on.
Oh, wow.
I don't even really have any guesses.
Okay.
Like, you're very in the dark. But I do think my prediction is that this is a show that is subtly giving you clues the whole time. Your first watch through, you just don't know what to look for. So
Right.
I would expect this is a show where you can watch it again and still really enjoy it the second time.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because it's very original. I'll give them plenty of credit there.
Sure,
Very
yeah.
original, very cool. And yeah, we are definitely hooked.
Okay.
But we don't know anything.
Really?
It's odd to feel that way.
Yeah, I feel like it came out 2 or 3 years ago, maybe. And one of my cousins, who's always ahead of things like that, he's like, "This show was so good. You got to watch it." And of course, I have not yet. But that was my Valentine's gift to Catherine. I was like, "We're gonna watch a show together, and it's gonna be Severance." Like,
Fun.
we have not watched an episode yet, but someday.
Do you know the kind of the premise of it?
Yeah. Yes. Like, there's a inner innie.
Yeah.
Any? There's like your work life and your work self, and then there's like an outside of work self, right?
Yeah, like your brain, I think, is kind of like severed
from the two.
Yeah. So it's pretty
Which
cool.
is a pretty
It's like,
interesting thing.
Yeah, it's like thought provoking of like,
Yeah.
all right, you created this other person, kind of like, what kind of rights do they have? Like, do they deserve to be happy? This is kind of what the show gets into, but it's more of just like, I think for you to talk with whoever you're watching it with, like, yeah, what's fair, what's right for this like copied and pasted version of yourself that is only there to work.
Yeah, I'm interested to watch it because I'm like, okay, does that mean are their personalities the same? Or their personalities similar but not the same? Or are they completely different? Is one guy a jerk and then he's super nice outside here or whatever? Like, so I am interested to watch it, but I am trying to. Do you ever struggle with this, like with Rachel, of like, I'm trying to like wait for you, but sometimes it's not convenient for you to be around, or I'm ready to watch it now, but you're not really ready right now, or whatever.
It's pretty easy for Rachel and I to be on the same schedule, but I would imagine with kids and other things, it's way harder. Yeah. But there are times where I give Rachel a heads up. Like, I think a week ago, I was like, hey, just get this out in the air right now. New Gabby Petito documentary just dropped. I got a few flights coming up. Maybe you watch this on your own time and I'll watch it on the flight.
Good.
We shook hands.
Yeah.
Spit on it, shook hands.
Right.
It's set.
We're good.
Mm-hmm. But Severance is our show together right now. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's cool. It's nice.
Good. Good. You went to Arizona? You want to talk about it?
I went to Arizona. Went to the desert, baby. It It was fun. I feel like I came back telling Rachel, I was just like, it was like 2 days later, like I can't stop thinking about it.
Okay.
It's like it was like summer camp where you're like, man, that was awesome. I mean, that just went about as good as it could have. Because the whole team was there, all 6 of us, plus Scott's like playing partner TJ was there, plus another guy. So it was just the whole crew. And the other guys who are part of Friday, they had never been to like a PPA big tournament before. So I think they loved seeing it. They couldn't believe how often we get like stopped and talked to at these tournaments, which I've kind of talked about in here before. Like, it's very unique, and I'm not even used to it because like within those borders, we are the most famous people in the border. You know, it's like you can't walk, you can't get places. Everyone wants a picture. It's really cool, and they couldn't believe it. It was fun. Isaac and I did end up going with the denim outfits.
Yep.
Which I think was the right choice. It was a hit.
Good.
So I was wearing Rachel's Forever 21 shorts.
Oh.
And length was solid, breezy. You know,
Loose.
Okay. However, there were button flies. I think they had 5 buttons, and I could only get 2, sometimes 3 buttoned. So I kind of had a little flying V open down here, but I wore a belt.
Okay.
And multiple times Scott could not believe that. He would be like, show me again. And I would lift up my shirt. He'd be like, I just can't. You've played all day with only a belt holding your shorts up.
Also, just the fact that you're playing in a belt in general.
Yeah. It was
like you're running around in a
nice belt.
Yeah.
But really the shorts were the least of my worries because Isaac got the shirts from a thrift store. And I think they were like size XL.
Yeah.
Like originally long sleeve denim shirts that he cut off. They were the length of my shorts, and I just couldn't figure out all day how to like wear it.
And you can't tuck in because you got a belt with only 3 of 5 buttons.
Yeah, and you don't. I mean, all day long, I had my phone on me because girls' pockets. Why don't they make them normal? Like I couldn't fit my phone in my pocket, so I just didn't have it all day.
Okay.
So I was doing kind of the. TJ called it the French tuck. I think that's where you only tuck in front.
Okay. Catherine always just says front tuck.
Front tuck.
Yeah. But
I don't know
TJ's
what
more
it
into
is.
fashion than Catherine.
So I was trying different stuff all day. I tuck it into the pockets. I maybe just tuck the back. So I'm like, man, I'm just getting caught on my own shirt all day.
Oh, really?
It was so baggy. But it's fun. And then I'm mic'd up too. So, you know, you got a cord running down. All things considered, it was still really fun. So this was new and unique to this tournament. We've never had people like, well, people stop us and be like, hey, you're the Friday guys. Can we get a picture or whatever? But that's the end of it. No one ever is like, actually watched us play just because we're, you know, just amateur players. Who cares? I'll go watch the pros. This is the first time we ever had like a crowd like, hey, which court are you guys going to? We're going to 25. Come along. And then we would have like the entire fence lined with people cheering for us, which is really fun.
Yeah.
And I think about 25% of them didn't know who we were. I think it was just the denim of like, well, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
These guys are playing denim 4.5. That's kind of hilarious. So yeah, the outfits were just a hit. And I think it might just be a thing now where it's like every PPA tournament, let's wear something ridiculous.
Right.
Not too crazy, but
like enough to like, be like, those guys are fun. Like,
yeah, that's fun. They're not taking it too serious. I think next we might go like John McEnroe, like vintage, like short shorts, headband, tennis player kind of thing. So yeah, we just had a blast. That was all day Saturday. Isaac and I do really well. Scott and TJ, out of 44 teams, end up winning first in 5.0. It's insane. They've never done that before. Didn't cry that I saw.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything.
That's amazing.
But
that's awesome.
It was crazy. I mean, 5.0, I mean, it's the closest you can get to professional pickleball.
Right.
And they won gold doubles and one with Friday paddles. So that's huge for the for the marketing coming up soon. I mean, just like we already posted kind of on Reddit, kind of a recap about it. People are responding really well to that. I mean, the emails, the texts, the ads we can make from like Friday paddles are not just for beginners. We won 5.0 gold. You know, I think this will garner some respect. So I will say Isaac and I had to play so many games. My Apple Watch at the end of the day said I had played pickleball because I would pause it when I wasn't playing 6 hours and 20 minutes.
What? Really?
It was a lot because we had 32 teams. You know, I think we made it to the semifinals and then lost. So then we had a handful of losers bracket games as well. And then we make it to third place game. Now we're back to 2 out of 3 again. Okay. So it's just a lot of games.
Wow.
And we felt that that was one thing I was glad that I'm glad it wasn't just me being really tired or it wasn't just Isaac. Like we were both so gassed at the same time. Like at least we're in this together. We called our first timeout. Isaac and I have always, for 4 years, anti-timeout. Like, it's pickleball. I'm not going to call a timeout to slow down momentum or to like, because I need a break. And this was like, use every timeout we have, use every second of this timeout we have. Yeah, we were just exhausted. Because the day before we had shot all day long in the sun. We were sunburnt and woke up early, had a couple grapes for breakfast. It was our own fault. This was so dumb. I prepared so well. I'm like becoming this like good mom of the group. And I had prepared electrolyte mix. I had plenty for all of us. I brought protein bars. I brought turkey jerky, 12-pack of Gatorade.
Yeah.
Left in the trunk. It was in the car all day long.
But in Arizona, it's probably still staying cold.
And that's the thing. Yeah, you just pop in and grab it. That was a dingus move, especially when we're like so depleted of energy. But every time that Scott and TJ had a game, we also had a game. We didn't get to see them play a single point all day. Luckily, we filmed it, so it's all good. But we got done with our like semifinal game. We see a text that says like 45 minutes ago, Scott said like going to court 25. And so we're like, all right, let's go. And as we're like getting there, there's a huge crowd around them. It was like a New Testament story or whatever, because we go up and all we see is Scott and TJ like high-fiving and people are cheering. And we're just like, what's happening? What's happening over there? What are they doing?
Let me get up on a tree real quick.
Yeah, I need to climb up and see. What's the miraculous thing that we're all applauding?
Yeah.
Was that game 1? Was that game 2? And like, no, that was it. They just won gold. And we're like, crap, we missed it, but that's awesome. And so we like hopped the fence and like go hug them, and it was really, really fun. But yeah, didn't get to see a single second of it. But
man,
yeah, I'd say about since Saturday, every like 4 hours, it'll just come up in my head. I'm like, I can't believe they won gold. That is insane.
Really,
they're really good.
Is that like one of the biggest tournaments of the year? Like,
I would say it's up there. Yeah, probably top 5. There were like 1,400 total players playing in this, and there were 44 teams playing 5.0, and they came in first.
That's crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah. What like were they just like, we just played amazing? Like, or was it just like,
I'm trying to think what their breakdown was. I think they were like, to be honest, one thing that did help them, and this is like, we're going to figure out how to craft this messaging, but they were using our new paddles. Like, actually not just trying to like promote the paddles, but they just recently got like USAP approved. This is the new like power paddle we're coming out with. And yeah, I mean, they've never come close to winning before. Yeah. We could give them a little more power in their hands, and came in first. So that could have been the difference. Yeah, it was just really fun. I experienced something that I've only ever seen Andy Bernard experience before. Can you guess what it is?
The rooted-to-do thing?
No, so it's something he experiences in the Fun Run episode.
Oh, he chafed?
Nipple chafing.
Yeah, is that what it's from? The front? Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? From the denim?
Yeah, we were like throughout the day slowly experiencing more and more symptoms. We're like, because Isaac kept being like, dude, my eyes are like burning. I don't know if it's sunscreen or sweat, or maybe just all day long I've had to wipe my eyes with denim. And I think they're slowly just like, it's like rubbing the skin off my eyes.
Rub me raw.
And yeah, my left one, I mean, by like hour 5, I was like, man, I'd do anything for like a dry fit t-shirt right now.
Really?
Or just shirtless. Yeah. I was like, I don't know if that's allowed. That would feel so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, just having to like pull it out for myself. And
really?
Yeah, the denim will do it to you. But overall, it was such a net positive. People loved it. I've never been tagged in so many stories by people who like didn't even know who we were. Like, these guys are playing in denim. This is fun to see. So
yeah, it's a good way to, I don't know, promote easily. Like, just be like,
yeah,
who are these guys? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's kind of
like
Red Bull. You know, like Red Bull's brand is just like fun. Like you see a Red Bull truck, it's like, oh, something cool's
happening.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you see these guys, it's like, oh, they're just being fun. Friday must be a fun brand.
Yeah. So I think it was a massive win, very fun. And I think at the end of the weekend, I think we have like 9 YouTube videos shot.
That's amazing.
So Timon, get those fingers ready.
Timon, get on.
So it was great. And shout out Caleb. Caleb was the ghostie who filmed for us.
Oh yeah.
He was top notch.
Top notch Caleb.
Haven't seen any of the footage he edited, but I saw him.
You could tell.
And it was like, dude, it looks like you're crushing it.
Yeah.
It looks like, no, he was though. I mean, like, because we were on a big group text, we could like, you know, hey, I'm on this court, I'm on court 36, whatever. And I swear Caleb would be there before we got there. Okay. Yeah, the tripod set up. I mean, he was just on it. Microphones always rolling. Like, he was just all over it. So really enjoyed him, his wife. Yeah, it was just a good weekend.
I feel like so much of what I appreciate about the Calebs of the world, the Timons of the world, are they're just like, well, first of all, if you can like anticipate needs, like rather than
That's
like
good.
always having to ask, and also just like not seeming overwhelmed with things, like not being like surprised, which I guess is kind of the same thing as anticipating needs. But like, yeah, like I feel like Timon took initiative right off the bat. That was like one of the things I remember Timon being like very impressed with you by, because like, yeah, like I remember you just like were moving stuff around without being like, do you mind if I do this? Or like, can I adjust this a little bit? Sorry guys, sorry. You know, it was just like, oh yeah, let me do this thing. Let me do this. Like, I don't know. It sounds like Caleb maybe the same way, you know?
You know, another good time and quality is he'll send me a thumbnail for a Friday video, and I'll be like, dude, looks great. Perfect. And then like 30 minutes later, he'll like send me another one that's like new and improved. Like even after I already said it was perfect, he'll be like, I can make it a little bit better. I can make it pop a little bit more. That's
I need to go to the bathroom real quick. Sorry, guys. Been drinking a lot of water.
Is this, oh, you're doing your little, I have to go to the bathroom show. All right, he's really committing to it. He's really going. He's still going. Yeah. Wow, he fully left the room for this bit. Timo, what's up with you? What'd you do this weekend?
I didn't have anything like written down. Trying to think of what I did. Obviously, I have to have it written down to remember what I did this weekend.
Exactly. Yeah. Yikes. What city were you in?
Wait, was I gone? I was in Kansas City.
Okay. Yeah. This is not 3 years ago. Just this past weekend.
So I didn't do anything this weekend. I think is what I'm realizing. So
hang out with friends.
What did I do? I played some pickleball Sunday afternoon with Graydon.
Okay.
That was fun.
Yeah, I got back in town and spring had sprung.
Yeah,
it's 60 degrees every day now.
That was great.
You and Graydon singles? Skating singles?
No, me and Jesse, and then Graydon and his brother Edwin. That was fun. Edwin, yeah.
Is that a homeschooled name?
I don't know. They were public schooled for a lot of their school.
Oh, it's public school name.
Public school name.
It's a good compound word, too. Where'd you guys play at?
Spring Hill Courts.
Spring Hill Courts?
Yeah, they were kind of like we had to clear a little bit of ice off of them, a little bit of like snow, because it was still like, there'd been so much snow, but it was like mostly melted. But yeah.
Isn't it crazy that the snow is still here? And I know we've talked about this before and talked about it recently, but it's been 60 degrees like 4 days in a row.
I know.
Snow really, it's strong. Dude.
It's amazing.
It refuses to leave.
The shadows, man. It's the shadows and like the places where it's accumulated. But it was so.
There's a Devo in there.
There's a Devo. I said there was a Devo in there to Catherine the other day, and she goes, where? And I was like, right there. Like, I think that's perfect for one. Because like our fence, if you remember, like the fence, like the one that has the wires on it, like the one that's more like see-through, you know what I'm talking about? Like you could see where the shadows from the fence hit the grass near our driveway, and only those areas didn't have melted snow yet. I was like, there's a Devo in there. She's like, where? I was like, right there.
Look at it.
I can do it right now. I don't know if you guys are familiar with URLs. I'm a big URL guy.
Remind me what it stands for?
Don't worry about it. It's cozyearth.com/Ghostrunners, though, is the one I want to talk about today.
Okay.
It's because Cozy Earth is a sponsor of the podcast, but it's also just one of my favorite URLs to just type in. It's a fun one to use both hands. CozyEarth.com.
Cozy Earth. It gets everything involved.
CozyEarth.com, and then you go for the slash. I'm a right pinky slash guy. I guess that's the only way you can do it.
Most do it that way.
I thought there were two slashes. There's only one. Just like there's only one place you should go for your luxury bedding, bath, pajamas, etc. And it's CozyEarth.com.
And dare I say blankets.
Dare you say it?
Let me show you something. Thanks for coming to Show and Tell, everyone.
Yeah.
Watch on Spotify or YouTube right now. This is a picture that I received from Garrett Gibson last week because he took my recommendation and he bought a massive cuddle blanket for his wife. The very next day, look at this picture sent to me by Steven Swick, who also took our advice and bought a cuddle blanket for his family. Just kind of funny. They're like the exact same picture where you like barely see a human swaddled inside this massive blanket.
Swarmed.
It's not just us. Everybody loves Cozy Earth. I wear it constantly. I wore it to bed last night, slept in it last night. I wore it yesterday. I wore it on all my flights this past weekend. I'm going to wear it on my flight tomorrow.
Yep.
I can't speak highly enough. The stuff is good, and it's 40% off.
I don't want to get too graphic, but I gave Catherine a kiss goodnight last night, and she goes, I like that shirt. And I go, Cozy Earth? I'm head to toe in Cozy Earth.
Yeah, you kissed her with your shoulder.
She was like, she felt that Henley. She's like, that's a nice waffle knit Henley. So
I always forget to wear the waffle net.
oh, it's a nice one.
I need to put it in a new part of my closet so I see it more.
Yes, good. That's good. Good advice. Good advice from cozyearth.com. So use our promo code GRKC, get up to 40% off. Start the new year fresh with premium quality, ethically made, superior customer service, all the different things here at cozyearth.com/Ghostrunners. It's my favorite URL right now. Maybe later on we'll have a different favorite, but right now. So
Oprah's favorite things, Brad's favorite URLs.
Yes.
It's on both lists.
so soft, temperature regulating. We could go on and on, but we're not going to because you have the URL now for you to do it yourself. cozyearth.com/Ghostrunners. Promo code is GRKC.
/do-it-yourself.
It's been a muddy week for the Ellis house. I don't know about you guys. You guys been getting muddy?
It's been pretty muddy at our house.
Yeah.
Golly.
Mud on my shoes. I told Rachel, I think just yesterday, I said, does it feel like our yard has just been mud for 2 months straight?
Yeah.
Driveway mud.
Mud, dude.
Head full of mud. I'm in my mud voice right now.
Yeah, you got your muddy voice on. Muddy buddies. Yeah. Hattie and Bo, it's like Catherine, I think, encourages it, like loves the idea. Like she grew up in the country, so she loves the mud, but I'm not a mud guy. I'm like,
she loves the mud?
I don't think she loves it. I think she loves that our kids are not like too scared of playing
afraid
in
of the mud.
I'm a little afraid of the mud.
I'm afraid of the mud.
I'm not afraid of the mud. Yeah, they went, and I don't think Catherine loved it, but like we went on I think you came outside to say hi to the kids the other day. They were on a walk.
Yes, that was fun.
So funny. I was driving down your street and I saw you going back in your house and I like was honking and didn't get your attention, but I didn't know that you were going out to say hi to them. And then all of a sudden I see my family to my left. So I slam on my brakes. I'm like, hey guys.
Anyway. I was on
Anyway,
the phone when I was saying hi to them.
No problem.
That's probably what it was.
but at the end of that walk, Hattie like rides her bike straight into the mud, like straight into the your neighbor's like catty corner from you on the corner of the street, and like literally put her bike in the mud, and then she was barefoot and just 2 feet right in the mud.
No, she's not afraid.
But she didn't like it, and then all of a sudden we have to face the repercussions of like washing her off, and like because it's winter, we hadn't screwed on the hoses yet, and so we're like taking spray bottles to her, like spraying off the mud. Like, what are we doing to this thing?
Spray bottling the mud,
dude. It was a mess. Because like, and you're probably thinking like, why don't you just use the spigot from the hose? And it's like, well, the spigot's kind of like underneath our deck a little bit. It's kind of confusing. So
you can't really access the spigot.
Can't really access it very easily. So
I feel like homes are like, you look on Zillow at houses and it's like beautiful mud room. I'm like, I'd rather have like a bed. I don't need a mud room. Sounds like maybe mudrooms are valuable.
I would love a mudroom. I've tried to talk to Catherine about like the front, we'll call it 4 feet of our like garage, which is already a small garage, like making that into a mudroom or something. Because back in the day with woodworking and stuff, I would be so messy and dirty and dusty, and I'd want to be able to come inside and like disrobe without, getting stain and paint and sawdust and everything everywhere. Anyway.
So are there like other uses for a mudroom, or is that like what it's for? Like to undirty yourself?
I think
while still being indoors.
It's probably a little bit of a generic term, but I feel like sometimes you can, like it can be where the laundry is. It can be, I think those are like kind of the main ideas behind it, or like a little bit more of just like a dirty room. You might have a dog shower in there if you're bougie.
It's like where you take your coat off.
Yeah, you might have like
take your shoes off there.
We'll call it a utility sink. Like one of those like plastic basin sinks that you can get.
Yeah, it's white.
Like, hey, go wash off the paintbrushes in the utility sink.
That sounds nice.
So it's kind of like just stuff like that. Maybe you have some I don't know, some cleaning products in there.
So you were spray bottling Hattie's feet.
That was the only water we could. It wasn't terrible, honestly. I let Catherine do most of it, so she had a fun time.
I picture a spray bottle just kind of adding some mist and making the mud like worse.
Eventually, Catherine just took off the top and was just like using the water on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have a spray bottle in my shop because I use it for random things. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, great, we'll use this. But yeah, just mud. And like they went to like this park. There's a park kind of down towards Henry's house that has like these trails behind it. And of course the kids like are trying to be imaginative and fun and like go on these trails, but they get so muddy afterwards. And so it's just like, it's like this double-edged sword to me. And I think Catherine's also a double-edged sword viewer of it, but also just thinking like the better on this side of the double-edged sword.
How many edges of a sword could you have?
I think you can have 8, 9.
So,
There's 9 dimensions, right?
glass half full. At least it's only 2-edge.
That's right. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Spin zone.
Spin zone. People really like spin zone.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
I'll have to do that more.
Spin zone. Yeah, I've been kind of struggling. I finally got a little bit of the sickness that my kids have been having, just like this feverish, flu-y stuff. I don't know, nothing terrible, but it's just a bummer because it just has like made me less energetic. Like there's just things I want to do, and I'm just like, I want to do them in my heart, but in my body, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. So that's that. Spin zone, please. On that.
Was not expecting that curveball. Spin zone, something to relate to with your family. Mm-hmm. Hey, now next time Hattie says she's like feeling tired or achy, now you maybe believe her a little bit more.
Be like, suck it up.
Like, nah, I had this too. I kind of know what you mean.
I still made you breakfast when I was tired and achy. Okay, no, yeah, it's a good point. Just I also have chapped lips, just like you do, Rosie. Yes, we have chapped lips together. It's fun times. But my highlight of my week was Monday morning. I was sitting in my truck, psyching myself up. Yeah, I'm not psyching myself out. Psyching myself up to go into Main Street Roasters West.
Okay.
AKA McLean's. And I'm in my truck, just like, all right, get some work done. Let's go. Let's get this thing going. And then all of a sudden I look up and there's these 2 people just waving at me. 3 people technically. There was a little baby. They had a little baby with them, and they were not people that I was like, oh, those are definitely XYZ. And so I was like, hi. And I get out and they're like, we're ghosties. We listen to the podcast, and it was Evan and Taylor, aka Evan of Wild Yam Creams.
Evan Coleman.
Yeah,
he was in town.
For a hot second. Evan and Taylor were in town.
They're awesome.
They were awesome. And so, yeah, they're in town with their little baby, Hosanna. I think she's 6 months old, sweet little girl, buying a car from Indianapolis, just buying a car, passing through, and we're going to get McLean's and then leave later on that morning. And so they're like,
they're buying a car in Kansas City?
Yeah. Found a great deal on a Tesla. It's a dope Tesla, too. It's awesome.
So people are buying the yam cream, it sounds like.
They were like, they said the same thing. They're like, I don't know if people are going to think. I was like, yeah. Because I was telling them about Gulf Shores. I was like, you guys can afford Gulf Shores just fine.
A few more months of yam sales, you'll be right there.
Anyway, but I mean, like they went.
Did you close the sale? Are they coming to Gulf Shores?
I hope so. I did not close the sale, but I think I sold it pretty well.
Hey Yam.
Hey Yammers.
Hey Yam guy.
Hey Yam boy. But yeah, I mean, we probably talked, I don't know how long, over an hour at McLean's, like just a great conversation over breakfast, and
they're awesome.
Really, really kind-hearted, wonderful people. Like
Justin Herbert.
I could see it for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Justin Herbert. Just a good dude. Like I did ask questions about them, but they just kept asking me questions. Like they were just so kind and like inquisitive. And I'm like, well, I want to know about you guys. Like what's your story? You know? But yeah, definitely the highlight of my week was just hanging out with them for sure. Like just, oh man, it was just so unexpected and so fun to just get time with them. And yeah, they're just people that are like, I mean, both of them, but like it was fun, especially like seeing Evan. He's a first-time dad, like his heart for fatherhood and like his heart for being a good dad to his little girl, and just being able to like resonate and like, let's talk about that. Like, let's,
you say, oh yeah, that'll wear off.
Like, oh dude, just wait, man. They start getting muddy and it's just like, it's miserable, man.
You got a spray bottle? You're going to need one.
Yeah, exactly. Keep them at bay. Like keep them far away from you. Mm-hmm. Just spray them off with that thing.
Yeah, you're going to be wiping off brown stuff for the next 10 years.
It's not usually mud, buddy. All right. Yeah. It was awesome though. It was so much fun and so unexpected. And like, not that I was in like a terrible mood before that, but like
you're having to psych yourself out.
Certainly psyched myself up more from that. So, it was a sweet moment. I'm trying to think of anything like worthwhile, funny, hilarious, but it's just, for the most part, it was fun hearing his story about how he got started with wild yams because he was like, he just had his job and then he quit his job because he was hating it. And then like, I forget exactly the timeline, but like within days or a week or something, she was like, I'm pregnant. And so he's like, all right, got to figure this out.
Figure it out. Yeah.
And, you know, back against the wall, he, you know, rose up to the occasion kind of thing and just, pumped for him. So
those are always kind of fun. It's when things like that happen, it's so scary in the moment, but like nothing motivates you like fear of like having no money.
100%.
You know, that'll make you figure it out pretty quick.
I was talking to Catherine about that the other night of like, I'm so thankful that God has blessed us in these ways, but like, I'm trying so hard to like get psyched up, even though even though I'm not scared, but like feeling a little bit of like, how do I find a little bit of fear? You know what I mean? Like, how do I find motivation that's equivalent to fear? Like where do you get that when you don't like, it's like, thank you, Lord, for providing for me, but I don't want to like, you know, take those things for granted or like think those things are here forever and like become too comfortable. Like I want to keep being good stewards of, you know, the opportunities you're giving me and stuff. So anyway,
it's fun to, I've had those same conversations like with myself and with Rachel's like, cause I've talked about before, like we want to buy some land. It's like, if we like stretch to buy some land, we would no longer be comfortable.
Right.
But I'm like, so is that dumb? Is that dumb financially to bring yourself out of comfortability? Seems like it, maybe. Flip side, spin zone. Now am I more motivated? Am I going to work harder?
Sure,
Probably. Re-spin zone, triple-edged sword. Is this coming from a place of lack of contentment? Do I need to always be doing something?
Dude.
I don't know.
Great.
Why don't I just chill?
Great questions.
The mortgage costs like nothing in this house. Why don't I just hang out and save some money?
Great questions. Great thoughts.
Quadruple edge sword.
Yes, that is a quad edge, maybe a pint edge. Catherine and I really go back and forth on the contentment thing. Cause like, I think we even have like different definitions or different versions of it. Like, cause Catherine's always trying to improve, always trying to think about and dream about. And like, on one hand, I'm like, that's great. Like good for you. Like even with our house, she's like,
mudroom.
Yeah. Like we should redo our floor. We should, you know, whatever. This carpet's getting old. And like in my head, I'm like, we need to be content. Like we have enough. We are okay. And she's like, I don't think that's me being discontent. And I'm like, but I think it is. But I like, you go back and forth on that kind of stuff. Or like, I don't know. Let's just get into the Devo portion of the podcast here.
There's shadows in the fence.
Dude, but like 2 Timothy 1, where it's like, God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-discipline. And I'm like, I am so fearful, right? Or like, I am so like, man, I don't want to do too little. I'm scared of doing too little. I don't want to do too much. I'm scared of doing too much. I don't want to do the wrong things. I don't want to waste these opportunities. It's like, God doesn't want us to be fearful. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of want God to make me a little scared. You know, I don't know.
And also, it's like, it probably comes from a place of like, nothing about our income is set.
Right.
We are not W-2 employees. We don't have a salary.
Good Ranchers has left before. they might leave again. It's like,
he's got the sticker on the mic. He's
come on. This is I've cemented this on here.
You can't leave.
Yeah. So it's just like 100%. Like I think there's part of that aspect. Yeah, whatever. So I'm just trying really hard to be like because I've thought the same thing of like, let's stretch and like buy a house that we not that we can't afford completely, but like that it's going to be a little bit scary of like, you got to keep grinding at this.
That initial down payment sucks no matter what house you're buying.
Sure. And it's like, okay, like, but it's like, I don't want to be stupid, but I also don't want to not trust the Lord that he can provide. Like, especially if it's like, let's use these things for God. Like not just like, let me just have this thing. And maybe that's where the contentment aspect.
Vaulted ceilings. So I want that. But it's like, no, what if we could have more people over?
Exactly. Maybe that's where the contentment is like, hey, are you doing this for your own good? Are you trying to improve this house, Catherine, for your own just peace of mind and whatever, or pride of like, I don't want people to be like thinking of us one way when you come into our house? Or is it like, no, we have the right intentions behind this, or we're trying to take this blessing that we've been given and be good stewards of like not letting it just get moldy basements and just like be like, well, it's moldy. Who cares? Oh,
it's a basement.
You know? So I don't know. All that to say, I don't know if I have any wisdom in any of that, but just thoughts I've had.
Yeah. How did you get talking about this? Oh, trying to get the motivation to work at McLean's.
Yeah. Shout out to Evan and Taylor. Because Evan's like, I was telling him some different thoughts I've had recently. He's like, just go for it, man. I was like, I know. I'm going to. I want to. I'm trying to. Like, he's like, do it. I'm like, I know. Okay, I'm talking to you right now. No, it was awesome.
Yeah, if you keep motivating me, I'm gonna have to leave this conversation because I'm so fired up right now.
So hopefully we see Evan and Taylor sometime soon. Gulf Shores.
That would be fun.
16th to the 23rd.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah. That's fun. It's fun to think about all that. Because I'm like actively doing less this year. I've like told Rachel, like, just heads up, like I'm going to make less money this year and I'm doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Because I want to have less things to focus on.
Right.
But the goal would be more fulfillment, more success, less travel.
Yeah.
Pinto sword.
I know. It's interesting. I think you and I are driven similarly, where it's always like, what else can I be doing?
I could always be doing more.
But it's also like
trivia podcast.
But maybe I should do less and just do it better.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do that and you're like, well, I can still do more. Like, and then it's like, well, yeah, I don't know. You just go back and forth. Like I just have this vicious cycle of like, I'm doing too much, so I need to pare it down. I pared it down and I'm bored, or I'm not doing enough. So I'm going to do way too much again. And
I'm crushing it so much. Now I need something else to push me.
And then it's like, well, I pushed too far.
I bought a stupid food truck that sits in my driveway for a year. Too far,
dude. The marketing on that thing now that you know your street is fixed and people are just driving up and down that street all day.
If nothing else, the Ghosties, I feel like this is an unintentional launch strategy where you just talk about something for a year. For when it does finally open, they're like, finally, now I gotta see it. I gotta support him. This poor guy.
Oh man.
Ghosty getaway though.
Yeah.
How we feeling?
I'm feeling great, dude. Just in general, it's we gotta iron out the chef thing. Gotta iron the fire for that. I'm not gonna go too far and give you too many teasers yet, but we have a potential chef right now.
Yeah,
she's interested.
We got some soft commitments from previous
soft
attendees.
Yeah, Alvaro texted me the other day and just said I cannot wait till August. So
wonder what that's about.
Yeah,
preseason football.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Commanders.
Feeling really good about it though. It's just gonna be so much fun, and it's already like we have so many of the logistics ironed out from last year. And so it's just like I've already thought about like, how can we make this year? How can we do this? Like, should we do a Beast Games type thing? Should we do this thing? Should we do like,
that's fun.
Should we like last year we did like the live podcast, but we had people DoorDash in, like that was really fun.
Yeah.
Like, I've already had multiple thoughts like that of like, we could do this year or, you know, whatever. Lambert's, thinking about things we could, like games we could play at Lambert's, like all these different things.
The Beast Games idea is awesome. Like, what if we actually could, like, we'll get like a sponsor and we'll like, hey, we're giving away $2,000 to one person who comes on this trip. Like, your trip is paid for.
I've had the thought, like, because like in the past, I bet we've had, I mean, with the money we've spent plus the money that sponsors give us, I bet we have $4,000, $5,000 worth of prizes, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not quite. I don't know that. But like a lot of money. And it's like, what if instead of, giving those money to prizes at the end, we just have like financial prizes throughout the week or something like
psychological game show.
Yeah. I don't know. So anyway, it could be really fun and
could bury it in the sand and just try to see how much we find.
We had that thought last year of doing a metal detector competition. And then it turned out either metal detectors are
hard to find,
like good ones.
They don't rent them out. I called a bunch of places.
Yep. But how fun would that be? Like, just because we were like, what if we just hide something in the sand?
Old-fashioned treasure hunt.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
ideas are not the hard part. But yeah, it's fun. Clear your calendar. August 16th to 23rd.
August 16th through the 23rd, baby. Yep. It's going to be fun.
Gotta do Lambert's again.
We're going to do 2 sessions, August 16th through the 20th, 20th through the 23rd, if you really want to get specific. But come for the whole thing. I saw, shout out Becca Fields. She's thinking about the whole thing.
All right, Bex.
So come on, Becky.
Got a couple airport options, I think, down there.
Pensacola is
but we prefer Pence.
But if you want to shuttle to the place, come to Pensacola.
If you don't want to not be on your own.
Yeah, you can fly into Mobile if you want to and fly down or drive down from there or whatever. But it's going to be awesome. So.
Speaking of that area of the country, we had we were looking into it yesterday. We had about a 10-minute span where we were really, really confused.
Yeah, I was on a walk. And I got the AirPod notification thing, like the dun-dun, text message from Jake Triplett. It's 3 hours away. I was like, what? So
I was in between. I got to the gym and saw your initial text about like, hey, so what we're talking about is a future event with Good Ranchers. It's gonna be really fun. They've got this IndyCar race that they sponsor. It's down in Alabama, and so Brad had texted me like, hey, maybe we could stay with Caitlin and Brayden. So I was like, great. I text them, go in the gym, and now I'm like in between sets as we are now texting back and forth. And so I feel like I was like really quickly not totally focusing and paying attention, but I look up the city. So in previous emails, she said, yeah, we got this race in Barber, Alabama, right outside of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Great. Oh my gosh. I look up Barber, Alabama. I'm like, oh, this is 3.5 hours away from Birmingham. And so we're like, well, that's not going to work. And then I'm like double checking the email. I'm like, no, it says Barber, comma, AL.
Yeah.
No, it is for sure. I mean,
that's the state abbreviation for Alabama.
Right?
Yeah.
But then Brad's like, I just searched Barber and there's like a racing sports complex right outside of Birmingham.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I guess that's it. But do they not? And so this whole time though that I'm texting you, I'm also texting Caitlin. So I text her, hey, can we stay with y'all this weekend? She's like, absolutely. We've been wanting company. And then 30 seconds later, I go, oh, never mind. It's 3.5 hours away. And then you text me Barber Sports Complex. I'm like, never mind again.
That. Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, no, look at this email. I'm screenshotting the email for Caitlin. I'm like, no, it says Barber, Alabama. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. We were given.
Never mind again.
We were given our contact at Good Ranch. We were in our heads. We were giving her a hard time because there was one time she was trying to figure out what the best race to go to would be for us because they also do Indy 500.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think Alabama's probably closer to Kansas City than Indianapolis, right? And I was like, in my head, I'm like, no. She's like, you could probably drive to Alabama, right? I was like, you can
get there that way.
Legally, yes, we can. And so we're like, giving her a hard time. Like she thought this was technically it's outside of Birmingham.
Yeah, I think she thinks Alabama's St. Louis or something. I mean, it's a day trip, right?
Or Kansas is the South. Like,
yeah, I don't know where she thinks things are.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody, which she's from, like they live in Houston, so it's not like they're in the North. But does anybody in the North think that Kansas is the South? Like I wonder.
Oh yeah, Kansas, Texas, it's all kind of one.
Like are people in Vermont thinking like those southern states out in Kansas? Like, because Catherine, I remember she like described like we live in the North. And I'm like, we don't live in the North. We literally live in the middle of the United States.
We are exact Midwest.
We are the Midwest. But I wonder if like, does Minnesota think of us as the South or, Idaho? Are they like.
Some do.
Yeah.
Some probably
Kansas
do.
is probably really close to Alabama. So.
At the Josiah Queen concert, he came out wearing a cowboy hat and was like, and like yeehaw and stuff. And he was like, is this like Kansas? We're like, no,
see,
not really.
Okay. But there's cowboys in Kansas.
That's the thing. I think that's like, I don't ever think of like Kansas as cowboys, but it's like, that is kind of Kansas. But it was like, he was just like the Southern drawl, like, and I'm like, that's not Kansas.
No.
Yeah.
The cowboys in Kansas are different than cowboys in Texas.
Yeah.
Like there's like rodeo, like I'm bull riding cowboy. And then there's like, I'm a person who herds cows, cowboy.
Me and my border collie.
Like they might not even be wearing cowboy hats. They might just be wearing a nice like trucker looking hat. Like
nice
that
Carhartt
says,
trucker.
Pioneer on it or something. Like more like
it's got their tractor brand on the hat.
Yeah. Like there's plenty of like country boys in Kansas, but they're not like, I don't know.
Trey was just saying that he swears like the last 4 shows he's been to, like comedy shows, concerts, whatever, they're always in like a theater in Kansas City, Missouri, and they're always like, Kansas, how we doing? Mm-hmm. And there's just a whole back and forth where the performer is just straight up wrong, but he doesn't believe the audience.
Oh, really?
And the audience is trying to tell him, you're in Missouri, and he thinks it's a joke. And yeah, he's like this, he saw a comedian this week, Aziz Ansari, and said the opener was just like having a rough time. Like couldn't get it through his head. Like was just straight up so confused.
Really?
Like, well, obviously we're in Kansas. Like they're messing with me.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, no, you're in Missouri. He's like, ha ha.
It's called Kansas City. I've been to Oklahoma City. It's not in Texas. Nice try. Is there any other city like that? Like that's like a
where the name almost Arkansas.
Arkansas
That's
City?
not in Kansas.
Yeah, true. But that's like a small. I'm talking like big towns. That's like, why in the world are they called that?
Texoma.
Okay, sure.
I'm filling the silence with things that aren't quite the correct answer.
Okay. Las Vegas. Right?
I think Lake Texoma is right on the border of Texas and Oklahoma. It actually makes a lot of sense.
Yes. I don't know. That probably would be confusing to people.
But I think every time I've ever performed. I mean, it's your tour manager's job. Like, they let you know, remind you right before you're on stage where you're at. And, there's signs. Today you are in Iowa City, Iowa. Today you are in, like, they make it pretty clear.
They
pretty,
should
like,
also
dummy proof, like where you are.
I'm about to sneeze, I think, but they should teach. I'm going to work through it. They should teach people to just say Kansas City. Because, like, if someone walked out and said Missouri, I wouldn't love that either. Because half the people there are from Kansas, probably.
Yeah. Like, there's an
say
instance of this. I feel like where I was in a city where I feel like, I think it's just like I was performing in Los Angeles, but I was technically performing in like Rancho Mirage. And it's like, so this is kind of Palm Springs. I'm not going to say Los Angeles. I don't know if I'm not going to say Rancho Mirage. How we doing?
Right.
But Palm Springs isn't technically where it is. So I would just, California, how we doing?
Right.
Choose the safest option you have.
Like, did you go Joliet?
Yeah, that's
Joliet, what's up? What's up, all my Jolietters? No way. You said Chicago.
Yeah, I said Chicago. How we doing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, don't do that.
Yeah. Community who mainly works at the Joliet prison. How we doing?
Yeah.
Maximum security. How we doing?
Yeah, it's either prisoners or casino members. How we doing here? Like Memphis is right on like, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi. So better to say Memphis than to be like, Tennessee, how we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know. There's
I think our show in Memphis was technically in Mississippi.
Oh,
what
really?
if I was just like, Mississippi, how we doing? I'm like,
exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah. You say the city.
Like Cincinnati, you might be in Kentucky. You're not saying, Kentucky, how we doing?
And they say boo. You say, no, technically, we're in Kentucky.
Check your geocache, my dear. Like, we're here. Yeah, it's just like, say Kansas City. KC, how we doing?
I just got a text from KC Crew, the Rec Sports League. Reminder, spring leagues are open. And then there's a link for individuals to sign up. And that just reminded me, we need to figure out somehow, some way to do a competition. I really want a consequence to be the loser has to sign up as a free agent.
Oh, really?
For something for KC Crew. Like, find the worst league and make them sign up as a free agent in it. I don't know what that would be. Soccer or like esports.
Yeah. I think it would.
And you're required to like give us an update every night. Like, that's part of it. Like, you have to tell us how it went.
It should be more of like once we know who the loser is, then we pick which league it is. Don't you think?
That's not a bad idea.
Because like soccer for
Garrett.
Garrett. Okay.
Okay. You're going to have a blast. Your team's going to love you.
They'd probably be like, great, we have Garrett. Soccer for me, Sam Henniger.
Great. We have Brad.
Yeah. Like, okay, you'll be playing goalie, I guess. Like, all right.
All right. Here are some of the leagues they have. I'll give you a person. You tell me. So this is for Gunner. Gunner came in last. We have to choose a sport from. Fouling. That's the top of the list.
What?
Bowling, maybe. Wait, I think I've seen this
FOWL?
on the news. I'm so in touch with the news because they are always playing it when I'm working out. I'm pretty sure it's like you throw a football at bowling pins. Pretty sick, huh?
He might hate that.
Yeah, no way. This goes about like the axe throwing industry does and is done in 3 years. Okay, so that, cornhole, pickleball, golf, softball, mushball. That has not been on the local news. I don't know what mushball is.
I'll look it up.
Flag football, shuffleboard. Man, good for Kansas City. So darts, volleyball, basketball, kickball, sand volleyball. Man, darts sounds brutal.
Mushball, I played, this was like what we called Chicago ball at that when we went to Branson, where it's just like a softball, but it's soft. And so
Oh,
it's
interesting.
not, like you can play without gloves.
I see.
So you just need a ball and a bat. It says a larger ball that gradually becomes softer the more the ball's hit. I don't know how much that matters, but Gunner.
Throw him in golf or
I think golf would be rough, just in general. Because if anybody's like signing up for golf,
they're probably pretty into golf.
yeah. And
Get paired up with that.
Gunner, I will say, does not make great first impressions. Like, I have so many. Like, I respect Gunner about as much as I respect anybody in the world. He made good impression.
He did with me. I met him by the dumpster and I said, I like that guy.
Okay. Most of the people I know have been like, I don't know about Gunner. And I love Gunner. And I think Gunner is amazing. But
it could be his name. They were expecting to meet a German Shepherd. And like, oh, okay, sorry. I got to like.
It is an interesting. Yeah, you're like, okay, this guy's name is Gunner. Yeah. So, and you know, Gunner's not just going to like wear a black shirt and khakis to the golf course. So he's going to be awful and be wearing this thing.
He's going to be wearing Sunday swagger.
And he's going to like do so many things that are not golf etiquette. You know,
this sounds like
he'd have fun.
Maybe this is like a movie is what this is. Like the movie premise is like loser has to join a league. Ha. And then they become best friends.
Yeah.
Or you find this untapped talent. Gunner's nasty at darts or shuffleboard.
Yeah. Foaling.
Or darts is always played in a bar and he like develops like some type of
good
alcoholism.
Or just addiction to Dr. Pepper. He's like, I can't get off this corn syrup.
Can't get off the syrup.
Yeah. The scissor. Yeah, that's probably it too.
But I do think it'd be fun. I mean, just like, if you sign up as a free agent and you're just on somebody's kickball team, that's a great debrief every night.
What do you think Scott's worst one would be?
To have to throw Scott in? I mean, it might just kill him to have to play pickleball. Like to have to play like 3.0 pickleball on a gym floor.
Maybe.
That might slowly kill him.
Yeah. He might also complain that it's like messing up his game. He's like, I'm getting too used to the bounces in the gym.
That's kind of funny, actually.
Or he develops like a taste for it. He's like, man, the gym, you know exactly what the air quality is going to be like every time. I'm tired of these outdoor courts. Yeah, that's a good point. Like pickleball, shuffle. I don't know if Scott would just like all of them.
Yeah, he would still have a good time. Anyway, we'll figure it out.
That's good.
Figure it out.
Beans.
I didn't even realize we were starting.
Beans. Main Street Roasters beans. Cut me off anytime.
That was Soulja Boy Tellums. Classic hit, Beans.
Beans.
Timon, what do you know about Soulja Boy?
You.
One of those beans.
Good. Before he was Ewing and Supermaning
I'm
on
really cringe listening back to that. I did not like how I said that.
You're gonna be like, boy, was that a dorky
really
move.
hated that. A
You
lot.
did you?
I might bleep that out.
Yeah.
Before he was doing all that.
Well, they didn't call him Soulja Boy. They called him Barista Boy.
Yeah, Barista Boy.
He was grinding.
He was grinding.
He was grinding all his life.
Yeah.
At MainStreetRoasters.com.
Same with Rick Ross before it was hustling. Every day I'm grinding.
Yeah, it's amazing all the famous rappers that Main Street Roasters continues to churn out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they come from northern Indiana.
It's wild, dude. It's like this circuit, dude. It's like, what in the world are they putting in these beans?
It's the Atlanta of the North.
Well, yeah, I was going to say Big Boy was one of them. And then Andre 3000 was just another barista at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they both just started grinding together. They're like, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Yep.
And so they called themselves Out of Here Cast. And they're like, that's too long. Outcast. Who else? It was
so basically we have, I think Tupac came from out west. I think Biggie came from New York. Ludacris, Atlanta. Everyone else is from Napanee, Indiana.
That's right.
And there's some who they used to claim and they don't.
Some of them are like, some of them are a little unbelievable. Other ones are like, oh, I could definitely see Jack Harlow making me a latte.
Yeah, no,
you know?
Yeah, he had a little beanie on for most of his career. 100%. You didn't recognize him, and then takes it off. Oh my gosh, you're beautiful.
It's like, yeah, of course you're a barista. Yeah. So
all that to say,
we are sponsored by Main Street Roasters.
We're sponsored by Main Street Roasters, and we know how much you guys love rap. So that's why we incorporated it. It's a celebrity deal. So for all of our rap fans out there, for all of our fans who love when Timon says, you, then consider supporting Main Street Roasters. They're such an amazing sponsor of ours, and they've got everything you need when it comes to coffee. So peruse their website yourself and take 10% off with promo code GRKC. The website is mainstreetroasters.com. If you'd like to click things, it's in the link below. It's in the description below. It's so squeaky. All right, cut. I've really dialed in a couple things I got to say about my gas. First, this is my first time traveling, Phoenix was, since I've been a little shreddy boy.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of high maintenance. I'm bringing my creatine powder. I'm bringing my protein powder. I don't want to skip a day of any of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So on the counter of our Airbnb, I've got my creatine, I got my protein powder, and it's probably like 11 a.m. the first morning. Scott comes out to me just giggling. And it's like, dude, I loved your setup on the kitchen counter. I'm like, oh yeah, like, I had to bring the stuff. And he's like, dude, I look over there and I see the creatine, I see the protein powder, and then right in between it is the Gas X. I go, that is not me. I said, someone is framing me. But yeah, it was like perfectly set up. Like someone, still don't know who it was. Someone brought some type of like Gas X for whatever reason, put it right in between the two things I bought.
You're like, maybe that's a good idea though.
I know, I was like, that hasn't even crossed my mind to like fix myself. Yeah, that was kind of funny. And then enough time has passed where I've been able to nail it down. It's not the milk, it's not the casein, it's the factor meals. It's whatever they're putting in there. So I guess I haven't fully narrowed it down, but it is factor. They're doing something inside of me.
Maybe it's all those veggies.
I think it's something with the veggies because they taste really good. And I think it's like some kind of butter, some kind of fat.
Oh, you think maybe it's not just the veggies by themselves. It's like...
Yeah, I don't think it's just the fiber that I'm getting from the vegetables because I can have other vegetables. Rachel will make me vegetables. I'm fine.
It's those specific.
Something they're doing. So buyer beware. The gas you're going to get from Factor. Also buyer beware. When I switched companies, I went to Metabolic Meals.
Okay.
It's not fully a scam, but it is sketchy.
Okay.
It's not a scam because they are giving you food, but I signed up for the first week, and before my meals were delivered, they had already signed me up for the next week. Like didn't even get to try them or anything. I went in to like adjust my meals. Like, sorry, it's too late. And I was like, it's 7 days out. They're like, it's too late. And they signed me up for the first week. I selected, I wanted 8 meals. When I didn't select my menu in time, they signed me up for 12 meals the next week and charged my credit card. And I'm like, that shouldn't be allowed. You can't like up my subscription like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and their website, very sketchy, or not sketchy, bad, just a bad website.
Okay.
Navigation is bad. You click on FAQs and it takes you to like contact us. You click on like our menu, it takes you to FAQs. Like I got to memorize your back end menu here.
They're not polished.
Not a good company.
Okay.
Buyer beware. They take good pictures. Don't let the pictures fool you. They take great pictures of their meals.
Did you check the reviews? I'm a big reviews guy.
I found a new website where I should start looking at reviews. Trustpilot.
I've heard of Trustpilot.
Because in the aftermath, I looked up Metabolic Meals on Trustpilot. Real bad.
Okay.
Should have seen it coming. My bad. I thought the pictures get to me.
Yeah. I will say you are a marketing like guy's target market.
Yeah, I will make a decision in 10 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, I would love you. I used to say it to Catherine all the time. Like I remember she would sit there and try to like, it was when we were dating and even then, as a nice, like in love, infatuated boy, I was like, I'm so annoyed with this. Like, but she would sit there. I remember on our 2-4 sometimes, and like she was trying to pick out what shampoo or I don't know what it was, something like that. And she's like, well, this one says it's going to, volumize and this, and I'm like, those are just words. Pick out some shampoo. like I would love you as a marketing person of like, she's one that's like, well, if it says it, then it's probably good,
Yeah.
She's moved away from that to an extent now, but
that's me.
For a while, it was just like, well, look at the picture. It looks great. This is going to be just like it.
That was so me. Convinced of anything.
Okay. I have a few valid or get off my high horses that kind of are related to what you just said.
Great.
And so first of all, I want to know if did you contact whatever this company was and say like, hey, you charged me for 12 instead of 8. I want my money back, or I want something like.
I emailed them and tried to be like, I wouldn't recommend running a business this way.
Yeah.
I tried to be their dad for them. Like, hey, if you want to have longevity doing this, you need to like respect and treat your customers better.
Valid or get off his high horse, Timon?
I'm so sorry. I just got an email and so I was reading that. It was about moving in with Graydon, so I was like, application update.
What's it say?
Screening us for like making sure we're good to move in.
Screening.
Just
like a TSA.
What do you call it? Like a background check type thing.
You have to send all a picture of all your tattoos.
Yeah, that'll be awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. I can take it if you want me to.
When do you move in?
Official date now, I think May 1st. So Yeah, pretty fun.
That's fun. Not that soon, but not that far away either.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for you to move in, Timon.
Same.
I think it's valid. I think, and why I say that is because, especially with businesses, it's like, and that's just like not even justified. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, I'm frustrated that they recharged me before I could do it. Like the other day, I didn't return an Amazon thing in time. It was like, you're 3 days too late. It's like, well, that's my own fault.
Yeah.
It was 90 days. Like, I think I had plenty of time.
Yeah.
I can't be like, hey, you should have warned me. Like, but if it's like, okay, I haven't even received my meals yet, and you're already like, you know what you're doing.
And they sent me like beef and pork and stuff. When like my first meal, it was all chicken.
Yes.
And now they're sending me stuff I can't even eat.
Yes.
Annoyed.
So that's bothersome. So along the same terms, not exactly the same. Let me give you a history behind it. Well, I'll say valid or get up my high horse, but then I'll give you some numbers behind why I'm motivated by this. Valid or get off my high horse. It is justifiable and it's right for me to contact my trash company and ask for a credit because they did not take my trash last week.
I saw your bin this morning and it was full.
It's a double decker out there for both. I mean, it's just like, and so, last week, terrible cold, snowy, whatever. Somewhat justifiable they didn't come. I don't think it was like the whole week you couldn't come. Like,
because normally they'll just postpone it a day. They'll come the next day.
They'll just postpone a day. Like, it's a thing they do sometimes. And the reason I'm asking Val to get off my high horse for this specifically is because when I first started with this company, so like there was another company in town that you use actually.
Yeah, we kind of use rival companies.
We do. And a lot of times, like my parents in Olathe, they just have one gas or trash service through Olathe. Like it's just like you just pay Olathe. They're kind of monopolizing it. There's no oligopoly here in town.
Yep.
And like this other trash company was like, hey, we'll do your trash for $18 a month. I'm like, that sounds great. I think I'm paying whatever it was, $80 a month for this other one. And so I called my company and was like, hey, FYI, I'm canceling. These other people said they'd do it for $18 a month. And this company that we have, Deffinball's like, well, we'll do it for $14 a month. I'm like, well, okay.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you keep playing this game, they're going to pay you.
I know. I was like, this is great. And now all of a sudden, like the price is back up. It's $114 a month for trash.
Whoa. How did that happen?
They
That's
just
so expensive.
Yeah. But I think that's how much you're paying too. I asked you, I was like, how much are you paying? Like, hoping like, okay, maybe I can leverage that. Like KC Disposal's paying less.
I wonder what I am paying.
I think you said we were like paying $120 a month or something like that.
What's wrong with me?
And so
My invoice account.
it's one thing if I'm paying $14 a month for this thing. It's another thing if I'm paying this much money to be like, okay, you can't just, and then all of a sudden, maybe a year ago, they changed recycling with Deffinball. They gave us a bigger bin and they only come every 2 weeks now. So imagine
I don't like that.
Imagine the stress if you're out of town on week 2.
Yeah.
Or, like whatever, you forget, like, it's just like all of a sudden we got to go burn your trash bins. Like so
hillbilly.
Yeah. So they've raised their prices. And so therefore, is it valid for me to be like, listen, can you give me my money back for not having the service that you said you were going to give? And last week was a recycling week.
Do they not take recycling every week?
That's what I'm saying. It's every other week. The trash is every week.
Oh, okay.
Recycling's every other.
That stinks too. I'd ask my money back just for that.
I was frustrated.
Hey, I got too much cardboard to be going every other week on recycling.
Did your trash company come last week?
This is my own mistake. The Wednesday, let's just really get into trash.
Yeah.
The Wednesday before, we had a ton of snow. Trash company was like, they call me, hey, it's gonna come Thursday. Week goes by, and they did come Thursday. Week goes by, Tuesday night, another snowy night, another wintry day. So I think, well, they're not gonna come tomorrow. Zoinks! They did.
They did?
They came on Wednesday, and I didn't put my trash out.
Guess who's using that as leverage? Big Daddy. I'm going to say KC Disposal picked up trash on Wednesday.
You're welcome.
Why were their trucks able to get out?
Yeah. So we had a big load this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I looked, $60 a month. It's $180 per quarter. That's how often they charge.
Oh, maybe I'm paying $114 for 2 months or something like that.
Perhaps.
All that to say, it's not $14. And I know it was $14 at one point. And I remember thinking, that is a steal.
All that to say, valid. Give him a call.
Yeah.
Give him a call.
Just see what I can do. Be like, I'm canceling for KC Disposal. I'm coming for
I
them.
love those guys.
Those guys are incredible. They have like brighter colors in their bins.
My kids love their trucks.
Yeah. They always wave at my kids. So, okay. Valid.
Yeah, valid. I agree. I like calling out like a company that promises something. I like calling them out if they don't.
Yeah.
I think that's like valid.
Also, do you feel like I go back and forth on, like, it's not like a black and white thing for me. It's definitely a how big is this company kind of thing for me. Like Deffenbaugh is owned by Waste Management. Waste Management is huge. Like, I don't feel bad asking them for $40. Whereas, like, you know, maybe it's just my own like sensitivity of like a custom furniture builder or something.
Yeah.
Like, if someone makes me like a small town coffee shop makes me a latte, and it's not the best, I'm not going to be like, give me my money back.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, you need to toughen up. Huh? Something like that.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that because we're a
wouldn't do
smaller
that.
company.
Right. So, okay. I have another one. Valid or get off my horse. This is my only other one. Also, it's been hard for me to say that today. No, I have two more. Talking about a bigger company. I was at Chipotle the other day. I opened up my app to pay or to like scan for rewards. And it said on there like today or this week or whatever it was, free queso with any order. I was like, oh, sweet.
Well, let's back it up in line.
I was like, can I get some, like just a side of queso? And they're like, oh, that's only if you order online or through your app.
Oh, I don't like little bylaws like that. You should always, make the customer happy one and make it as frictionless as possible.
It just feels
You
like,
don't confuse the customer.
and once again, this is one of those gray areas because it's like, I would not get mad at, the salty iguana if they said something like this, but I'm like, you're Chipotle. You can afford to give me
Salty iguana is so funny.
$2 worth of queso for free.
What a terrible name for a restaurant. That's so unappetizing. But it's in like one of the nicest parts of like.
Oh yeah, there's
Johnson
a bunch of
County.
them. There's like a chain of them. Salty iguana.
I'm not gonna get mad at salty iguana.
No,
they have a
dude.
terrible name. They're already up against it.
Yeah, right. They feel it. They felt it at COVID. Like Chipotle did just fine. Yeah, and they're like, I didn't push back or anything, but in my head I was like, I'm frustrated by this. They should be able to give me queso.
My take on this is since you like use their app and saw it on the app, you should get the queso. I think if someone who like doesn't even use the Chipotle app and is just like going through, it's okay if they didn't know about it. Like just to not. But if it's like you use the app, you're like a customer enough to know about it. It's like if you bring it up, they should give it to you. That's what I think.
And like I could have technically, I hadn't paid anything yet. I could have technically like gone on the app, ordered everything on the app, and then they would have been like, okay, I see your order. Here's your case. And it's like, do we really want to go through that game?
Yeah.
Like that song and dance for this thing? Anyway. And it's like, also like, there's no way they're measuring. Like there's no way anybody would know if they like just put some queso in a cup and gave it to me. Like they're not like inventorying out their queso.
Weighing at the beginning of the day, end of the day.
Yeah. Or if I ask for a side of rice, they would put it in one of those cups and they wouldn't be like, hey, you need to mark down that we use one of those cups for a side of rice. Like it's not like they're, anyway, so valid or get off my high horse for that one. You think it's valid time?
I think it's valid.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Okay.
It's valid.
All right, last one here. And this one is one that I want to be very sensitive to people on because
Blackout.
valid or get off my high horse. We should bleep out Blackout. My aunt called me, Aunt Cindy, the other day. She's like, some people weren't really liking that you were bleeping out that word. And I was like, I know people don't like the bleeps. What can I say? Valid or get off my high horse. The overarching thing is like people complaining that they can't afford something that's reasonably priced, but just a little bit more expensive. Okay. The specific example that got this topic going is TJ told me the other day, he's like, did you hear that we have a reel that has like 5 million views?
Wow.
And it's this reel of his newborn baby compared to just things around their house.
Oh,
Have you seen that?
yeah, I think I saw it.
Yeah. And like one of them is like, because she was born like a month early. So she's extra tiny. And so it's like her versus an Apple mouse. And it's like
Yeah.
pretty, not that much different. Anyway, and then it's her and then our place cooking pan, which is like a non-toxic, nicer cooking pan. And the comments, of course, when something goes that viral are just so ridiculous. And so one of the people was like, oh, must be nice to be able to afford an our place cooking pan. Like, gosh, you guys are so whatever. And I don't know. Let me check how I did buy an our place cooking pan for Catherine for Christmas. So I know they're kind of expensive, but they're not like unbelievable, I don't think.
Okay, I found the real 5.9 million views.
Okay.
Wow. That's crazy.
So this pan, to be fair, I don't know how much you guys are thinking a pan costs, but this one is a whatever, like non-toxic, blah, blah, blah kind of pan is $125. So that's a lot of money for a pan.
Yeah.
We can acknowledge that.
But is it a high quality pan? Are you going to use it for 10 years?
That's the idea, right? Like
Divide by month? Yeah, $1
Sure.
a month.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but it seems reasonable for a great pan. I think.
Like I understand that some people live paycheck to paycheck. Some people live super tightly. To me, it's like, I think that you could probably afford this pan. Maybe not right now, but maybe if you really wanted this pan, you could save up. What if you're like, well, I have a pan budget of $10 a month. It's like, okay, you can afford that pan in a year. Like I don't know. Like it's one thing to be like, oh, all your clothes are from Lululemon. Like you must be so rich, must be nice. But it's like, oh, that person has a Lululemon shirt. They must be loaded right now. It's like a Lululemon shirt might cost $100 and your budget for a shirt is $25 a month. I spend on clothing. It's like, okay, great. Then wait 4 months and don't spend any money on clothing and buy one nice shirt. Like, I don't know. I just don't like it when people are like, oh, you can't afford that. Like, that's crazy. Must be nice to be that rich, whatever, all these different things. So valid or get off my head. Like, I don't know. Like on one hand, I understand people are like, whatever. And it's like, if it's a habit, if you're buying a new pan every week, yeah, you can't afford that. But like, there's certain things that are investments and certain things that are like, oh, you're splurging every single day going to Chipotle. Like that's a bad idea. Like not everyone can afford that. I understand that. What do you think?
I don't know if I have a strong thought about anything, but I have a bunch of different thoughts about like,
love it.
Yes, annoyed by any kind of negativity on the internet, annoyed by any kind of negativity towards a stranger on the internet. That's so bothersome. That's so just weird. Another thought, I've scrolled through so many comments and I can't find a single negative one about the pan.
I will say
Find the pan.
I found a pan comment and it's positive. It's like it starts out, were you just trying to flex on us with your Our Place pan? Just playing. She's so sweet. Congrats.
I'm probably like 30
fine.
comments down.
That's like the second to top for me.
Gotcha.
Are you seeing all the other ones that are like worried about her crying or something? Like
they're all very positive, except for, like I'm like 30 comments down and I finally found a negative comment. It says, she's hungry, poor thing.
Yeah.
To comment that about somebody's baby. It's crazy. But for the most part, everyone's very positive. Like, oh my gosh, she's so tiny. She's so cute. Please do more. She's precious. So little.
She is. It is a
tiny peanut. Oh, she's a little loaf of bread. That's what I'm saying.
I can't even afford a loaf of bread.
What else was I thinking about? Just like, I think any type of like judgment on someone else's like finances when you only get a glimpse of something is like irresponsible to do. Just like, you get a look at someone's house and you think they're a certain type of person. You get a look at someone's car and you think they're this type of person. Like, I think that's
maybe that's what they spend their money on, like, or whatever. Like, oh, that person has a nice TV. He must be rich, or he just loves watching TV.
Yeah.
So that's what he spent his money on, and he shops at Aldi, and he like never eats out, and doesn't spend any money on clothes. Like goes to the thrift store, whatever. Like.
Rachel was telling me a story. So one of her good friends at Northern Iowa, she played volleyball with, she went on to, she's either engaged or married to, I think his name is AJ Green, white guy who plays for the Milwaukee Bucks and is like getting good minutes with the Bucks and like has a...
wasn't there a receiver named AJ Green?
Yeah, for the Bengals.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, I think that's still his name,
Okay.
but no. And NBA contracts are crazy. It's public knowledge how much money this guy makes.
Right.
And she was kind of like, telling Rachel just like, it's kind of uncomfortable. Like I end up like paying for more things now than I used to.
Yeah.
And like wrestling with like, is that okay though? Cause we do have a lot of money now, but like her friends are just like, obviously we're not going to split it.
Yeah.
Look at your life.
Yeah.
You can afford this more than we can.
Like you're like, yeah, we'll all go, but like you're going to pay for more of it than we are, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. So I think I would lean towards more of the like everyone, if you can eat. Yeah.
I think I try to be sensitive to like the big numbers are big numbers regardless of whatever. Like, but to me, it's like if something's $60 and you're like, oh, it must be nice to have one of those. Flexing on us with that,
yeah, that's
that
a good
hat.
point where it's like, well, that's just how they've chosen to spend their $60.
Right. It's like budgeting. Like you can easily, like not easily, but like I can find ways to save people $60 probably a month.
Yeah.
I don't think not very many people are having to live this like super, super tight style. Like maybe some people are, and I'm not trying to be insensitive, but like I feel like
It comes down to budgeting, I feel like.
I feel like the people that are commenting those things are probably not more than likely not doing that. So
Yeah. Because there's probably things you could look at in me and Rachel's life of fill in the blank. Like for instance, I just got her a new RAV4.
Whoa.
But also,
Must be nice.
we are not paying for coffee ever anymore. We're doing a thing where we don't buy clothes this year. I don't even know if I've talked about that on the podcast, but it's just kind of a fun challenge. I don't know. Why not? Like there's a number, it's just, it's addition and subtraction. It's like, there's a lot of things that you probably don't even think about that you're like, I am kind of slowly spending money on this.
Sure. Yeah. All the subscriptions you have.
Yeah.
I'm paying for 2 terabytes. I only have like 1.1.
But that Lululemon shirt must be nice.
Yeah, dude. Sheesh. Must be nice to just like be comfortable in your shirt. So anyway, those are my valid or get off my high horses.
That's fun.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I had something about, this isn't necessarily valid or high horse, but I feel like I'm always in the situation. Yesterday, I was up in North KC and I was like, I could go for a nice, like, I just got around playing pickleball, like find a little protein shake, find this one spot. And on their menu, it says they have vegan protein. Perfect. Go in there. And they're like, yeah, we don't have any vegan protein. I know it says it on the menu. We haven't carried it for a while now.
Oh, there's
and I say,
out.
All right. That's why I came here.
That's the whole reason I'm here.
Yeah.
Bummer.
So if you're a small business out there, you can lose customers pretty easily.
That's good.
If you don't, like what Timon said, if you don't like have kind of what you've kind of promised to have.
Sure. It's like, this is what you say you have. Take it off.
Nice girl though. Rolled the dice with the whey protein. It went okay.
Really?
It went okay.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. No way. Way.
Way, man.
Way.
Look what the mailman dragged in. We got Good Ranchers merch right now. They just brought it in, and I'll tell you, I'm busting out of this medium right now.
Yeah, I could barely get this thing on.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We're all mediums now. Mine's a little bit baggy on me, dude.
It is crazy. I'm glad they sent us all mediums.
Yeah.
Because we all so comfortably fit into them.
I mean, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. It's a little bit too flowy.
You have too much space.
I'm feeling like a little bit sloppy on the podcast right now. So,
And what does yours say?
Anti-vegan activist.
It's so baggy that it's hard for me to even read it.
Fight the power. Good Ranchers.
You do look pretty big.
Really?
Like you look,
Fight the power, huh?
You look so strong.
You think this was made without some T-bones? Huh? You're telling me I should wear mediums? Is this
I
how?
think we found our shirt size for the whole studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is fun. This is our first time doing an ad read after we were all shirtless 30 seconds ago. But it feels good. That feels like good momentum to get into this. And hey, for you out there, why don't you also as well spring into action?
Yeah.
Because spring has sprung. And it's time to make a real difference in the lives of American farmers and ranchers.
That's right.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
By subscribing to Good Ranchers, you can do just that.
How?
Did you know
What?
that 140,000 family farms in the U.S. have closed down since 2017?
No. Wait, say that again?
140,000 family farms have closed down since 2017.
That's crazy because I am friends with a guy who is married to a girl who has a family farm.
They are probably in jeopardy. Because that's kind of the problem. Is so much meat that even if it says it's like, oh no, packaged in America, or makes it seem like it's good for the American economy.
Yeah.
It's not. Good Ranchers, all of their meat is 100% American sourced. It's free from hidden additives, and you get farm to table transparency. You're supporting American ranchers and getting meat you can feel good about serving. Clean, simple. It is exactly how it should be, just like Brad's pecs. If you subscribe right now to any box and use promo code GRKC, you're going to get free bacon or ground beef, seed oil-free chicken nuggets, or wild-caught salmon in every order for a year, plus $25 off, plus we'll make a GIF out of what Brad's doing right now, and we'll personally text it to you. So go to goodranchers.com and check out, hey, they're loose-fitting apparel.
Yeah.
And they're amazing boxes that you can subscribe to now. So support American farmers, support your own family. You're going to buy meat anyway. Get it without any added hormones, any antibiotics, any seed oils. Goodranchers.com. American meat delivered.
Yeehaw.
Before we wrap up, should we talk about this next episode that we're going to record?
I hope it's as good as I want it to be.
We're loading up. We're loading up the studio. We're throwing in Brad's truck.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, we're doing another episode on the road.
Yeah, we did it like episode 13.
Yeah.
It's time to bring it back.
Yeah, should be fun. I don't know. Like, do we want to brainstorm? On one hand, I'm like, I think we'll just be able to find things we talk about on the road like we did last time.
Yeah, probably won't have an issue, but yeah, I think one of the elements is going through the Chick-Fil-A drive-thru.
Gotta.
Over and over and over again.
Yes, that's the idea. Is like, we went through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru once. People remembered it. What if we went through it 10 times and just became friends with the people that did it? Maybe do we have some sort of like running joke or a riddle that we ask them and we give them a clue every time?
That's fun.
Or do we do our own Beast Games thing where it's like unroll one of these windows and whatever window you roll down, you either have to give us something for free or we give you something of ours.
One thing I thought of, I assume you're in the driver's seat, you'll be talking to them. I give you a new personality every time you come through. Okay. And you have to become that person. Yeah. You are a auctioneer or you're just an overly confused customer. Oh, yeah. Or you're in the middle of an ASMR video. Fill in the blank.
What's up? That's good.
I had a thought where you just, one time you go through the drive-thru and you refuse to quit doing this, but you're convinced there is a secret menu.
Okay.
And so you're just trying all these different combination of words, trying to order something from the secret menu.
Okay.
I'll take the flying cow.
Yeah.
Come on.
I
know you have it.
Blackout.
All right. I'll take two strips of holy chicken.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
I know you got it.
Come on.
I know you got it back there.
Check the back. Check the back.
All right. What do you think about this idea?
Okay.
A lot of people pay it forward. We're going to pay it backward. It's not what you think, though. We're going to say, hey, we'd like to pay for the car behind us if there's a contingency. Only if their order includes Polynesian sauce.
Okay.
And just, I don't know, kind of fun.
That's fun.
And just and then we'll go back around did they order it?
Or do we experiment? No, I was thinking when you said pay it backward, we would be like, we'll pay for them if they pay for us and see if they're willing to take that risk. Like we order fries. Medium Dr. Pepper. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so our bill is $2.50 and theirs is $16.45.
Yeah.
But they don't know.
Kind of a social phenomenon. We load up the car with 8 people. We're like, we'll pay for yours if you pay for ours.
Yeah.
It was a trick. We just got Dr. Pepper.
Got him. Or we hide you guys. It looks like there's only one person in the car when they agree. And then we all pop up. We're like, thank you so much. Thank you. We get Timon and all his siblings to come. And they're all in the back seat.
Yeah.
Someday can we do a jingle with Timon and the whole the whole family?
Yeah.
Sure. That'd be fun.
Somebody write us a jingle for Timon's family.
Go down to Bucyrus, make it happen.
Or just Timon have Timon record it or something. Yeah. Bring him into the studio.
You guys have to be there.
We have to be there.
Yep.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
That's awesome.
I like pay it backward though. Or if they say a certain word, if they say hey, how are you doing today? We have to make sure, if they say something besides good.
Or if they ask you back.
Okay. Yeah.
That seems rare though. I'm good. How are you? I think people just get into it. Which is why they should be rewarded.
I wonder, or do you think some people's response is good? Like,
That's nice.
That's asking back to an extent.
Yeah.
Do you ask back?
I think so. Really, I'm just not Hawaiian bros though. I get so tired of Hawaiian bros. They won't let you go.
Yeah.
I know I've talked about it before. They just get 1,000 questions that don't matter. Can I get a name for that order? No. It's me. I'm the one person in line. Name. They always ask for a name, and they always ask
drive-thru.
In the drive-thru. Yeah, you're the only car there. Can I get a name? And they have a glass window that faces you. So I mean, we were making eye contact while I want your name, and they always ask if it's gonna be cash or card.
Always silly.
What kind of prep does it take?
Mess with them.
You find out in 5 seconds.
Like, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Okay, no problem. My name?
Judgment call.
Rather not. My name is rather not, I guess. Yeah. Nice try. Nice try, big brother.
But no, yeah, Chick-fil-A, they're always so friendly.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming by. How are you doing today? Good. How are you guys? I think it's pretty friendly.
Yeah. I think maybe if they say something besides good, if they say, we are doing wonderful.
Maybe we try to encourage healthy habits. Hey, if they get a salad, it's on us. If they get a water,
okay,
it's on us.
Okay. If they don't get ice,
if it's $4 or less, it's on us.
Yeah. Yeah. All these things.
Pay it backward.
That's fun. Maybe we just park and we just ask people questions as they're going through the drive-thru.
Yeah, we're stationary. They pass through us.
Mm-hmm. We could do that. We could.
It's gonna be fun. It's like 60 degrees out right now.
The vibes are gonna be high. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be great. It'll be a good time. I should probably text Drew and say, hey, we're coming, but that's okay.
That's fun. I gotta pee so bad.
You do?
I do.
Okay, do your thing where you pretend to have to go pee so bad.
I'm sorry.
Let me read the review of the week for the both of us. How about Jake? While you do this.
I'd like one.
Jake. He's going to the bathroom. He's pretending he's doing this thing. That made me think of the there's a Friends bit. Timon, I know you're not a Friends guy, but where Ross moves in across the street from the other people, and so they can see Ross's apartment. And he's doing all these different like funny, like going down this like the fake stairs like in the window and going down the elevator. And then they're like, oh, I think he's doing the bit where he pretends to watch TV. And somebody's like, no, I think he's actually just watching TV. And he's literally pretending to watch TV. Anyway, it's a funny time.
That's funny.
Thank you. I am going to read this review for us. It's from Apple Podcasts review section. It is a 5-star review, and it is coming from AIO for life. It's kind of a funny thing. It's kind of apropos to what we're doing here on our next episode on Wednesday. So, review is called Storytime, 5 stars. A few months ago, me and my sister and a couple of my friends went to Chick-fil-A in Springfield, Missouri, where Jake's from. When we were pulling out of the parking lot, we saw a Tesla pulling in. I turned to my sister and said, that looks like Jake. I was so confident that was him because his hair and the smile was the same. We ended up turning around and pulling back in. We saw the guy getting out of the car with 2 kids, and I said, that looks like Hattie and Bo. Turns out it wasn't Jake. It was just a random dad with his kids. Needless to say, we were disappointed, but hopefully we coincidentally run into him at Chick-fil-A someday. Love the pod. Keep up the good work. I love the idea of them thinking this. I also love the idea of Jake taking Hattie and Bo to Chick-fil-A someday.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Equally funny things in my head.
That looks like Hattie and Bo.
That must be Hattie and Bo and Jake. That's probably it in Springfield, of course. He kidnapped Hattie and Bo. So shout out to AIO for life.
AIO for life. I like the simplicity of this one. From Emerson, shut. I don't know anybody that hasn't liked this pod when I showed it to them. That's a great review. That's it.
That's a compliment.
It's just like, hey, basically, like if you're thinking about listening to this podcast, I'm batting 1,000 with showing it to my friends.
Yes. Okay.
That's nice. Do you guys want to end this episode with a jingle?
I have a jingle.
Somebody, please.
Yes. So Matthew Braun. Do we think it's Braun or Brown? Braun.
Seems like Braun.
Matthew Braun. He gave me a email where he recorded himself singing a jingle. Great little recording. We'll play that at the very end, Timon. He said, I wrote and sang a jingle for you guys. Hope it's podcast worthy. And then I feel like, this was the sweetest thing. My 9-year-old daughter also wrote a jingle and keeps pestering me to send it. 9-year-old daughter is awesome for writing this jingle.
Pester away.
So, Timon, I'm going to send you this, and you can put it up on the screen while I sing it. I'm just going to sing it a cappella here, but it says on the top, Tarzan, You'll Be in My Heart,
Good song.
recreated for Ghostrunners. And she just kind of wrote the entire thing. He or she, I think it's my daughter. But she didn't really delineate her lines, so I don't know exactly when we're supposed to sing which part.
That's okay.
But it's a fun little thing. Let me send it to you real quick, Time.
Great.
And then you can
Good song.
Yeah, you can sing it along with me if you want. Let's see. Jake, you too.
If I want.
If you want.
In the meantime, I have a quick currently trending, if
Please.
I may. I on Letterboxd, someone that follows me, I figured it was a ghosty because random person and it's Joshua Schmitz, and I found in his Letterboxd bio he has a podcast, a movie podcast called Movies Unboxed, and I've been loving it and listening.
That's
to it.
fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm a fan now. I think I'll keep up with it. So shout out to
Movies
Joshua
Unboxed.
Schmidt. Yeah, Movies Unboxed. It's a fun time.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I have a new podcast.
Would you
Great.
enjoy? I'm curious about people that listen to movie podcasts. Do you ever listen to the episodes where you haven't seen the movie yet?
I think I did that a couple times with maybe one yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's if I don't care, if it's not I have to avoid spoilers for this,
Yeah.
or I just am curious about the movie, then yeah.
Okay. Because I know some people are really into movie podcasts, and I'm like, is it only the ones you? Because every once in a while I'll find one and be like, okay, I'll listen to this episode because I've seen that movie.
Yeah.
So
They did one on Baby Driver. Good episode.
a lot of people came to my aid about. Baby
yeah,
Driver,
people
that's
love
nice.
it.
I
Yeah.
really appreciate it because Timon crapped on it. No, I'm just kidding. No, you were complimentary of it, but I was encouraged by that. Of okay, maybe Jake will watch this now. So Jake, watch it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here we go.
Cool.
Come stop your whining. It'll be all right. Let's just go back and forth.
Great.
Jake, Brad, and Timon
Are on tonight.
talking football and eating chicken.
1 mile a day for a run.
When will the next episode come?
And will it have equine one?
The fun and laughter goes on forever.
We're listening here. Here we go.
Together now. Ghostrunners podcast. Yes, the Ghostrunners podcast. Will Timon go to university? Oh, Ghostrunners podcast. They're coming on Monday. Yes, Ghostrunners podcast. Kansas City. Yeah. Thank you
awesome.
to Matthew
Beautiful.
Braun's daughter, 9-year-old.
That's great.
Youngest jingle yet, I think,
Youngest jingle yet.
that we can remember. So shout out to 9-year-old jingle writers out there. So fun, so sweet. Thank you for letting us be a part of your week here on the Ghostrunners podcast. Real quick, this shouldn't be something that's real quick. Let's take time. Scott via Joan reminded us of this. I have been going back and forth about how do we address this and whatever. First of all, just not shout out, but what's the word? Just
Acknowledgement or
thoughts. Yeah. Prayers. Just there are people in the Ghostrunners community going through hard things right now, going through just absolutely just heart-wrenching things, dreadful things. And while we try to be light and breezy on the podcast in so many ways, reality is life's hard. And we're glad to be a comfort podcast to so many people out there. But specifically want to give a acknowledgement, a shout out, tribute, I suppose, to Shaylin Lumsden. She had bladder cancer. She posted a few times on our Facebook group initially when she got diagnosed, and through treatment, when ended up passing away. And yeah, it's just a hard thing to deal with, hard thing to come to grips with, knowing that somebody that cared about us, went through this, and what can we do? But the Ghostrunners community did rally around her family, raised over $2,500 for her family. People were like watching her funeral service online, all these different things. And anyway, it's just a cool, as terrible and hard as some of these things that people are going through are. I also saw, another acknowledgement, tribute, whatever. Jennifer Vorpal is just going through some hard times right now. And I know others, we could name countless people. I think all three of us have lost grandparents in the past year. Like Jake's lost 2. I mean, it's just hard stuff. Like life is hard. But to see like the ghosty community rally behind people and say like, I am praying for you. Like, I am so sorry. Like, what can we do to help? Like, once again, it's just one of those times where it's just amazing to see, the hands and the feet of Jesus, like working through this podcast where we sing Tarzan parodies from 9-year-olds. And then, but there is something deeper going on and something deeper affecting this all. And so, I know that Shaylin was a listener of the podcast, a supporter of the podcast, a big fan of ours. And so, I hadn't seen that she had passed away, and then got that text, and I was like, oh man, that's really tough. And I don't know exactly the right thing to say or the right thing to do, but just know that we care, and we are here for you guys as much as we can be. And we appreciate all of you guys being there for each other. I think that's the main amazing thing, is like,
that's the encouragement, I think, is if you are currently going through something, know that the ghosties care about you.
It's amazing,
even if you've never met.
Even if you look at YouTube comments where somebody's like, oh, I'm having a hard time with a cold, somebody will be like, I'm praying for your cold. Like, it's amazing. Like how much people are caring about each other through this community. And I know that's not why everyone listens, but I know that is a wonderful byproduct of this thing that we have. So, that's all I don't say.
That was really well said. I don't want to talk just to talk. I don't really think I have anything to add.
Great.
It's better than that.
Great. Well, yes, once again, we love you guys, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
Wednesday from the truck.
From the truck. Take it away, Matthew Braun. Acapella, baby.
I could wait all week just to hear Ghostrunners. Listen to Brad, Jake, and Timon talk of all the things that they've done. Then when Monday comes, I am so elated. I just load up the new podcast and listen. And then I settle in for a whole new adventure. Is Brad a dad again? Did Jake need another fan? I just got to know. And it's time and gonna sing. It's how do you guess today? Is Bo running off to play, or is Rachel on? Let's hear what she has to say. With each new episode, they always get me laughing. When they talk about their neighbors or their favorite soft drink flavors, one day Bondi Bowls will finally come together. And ghosties can work for Jake, and they'll fire up those blenders no matter the weather. Is Brad a dad again? Did Jake need another fan? I just got to know. And it's time and gonna sing. Is how do you guess today? Is Bo running off to play, or is Rachel on? Let's hear what she has to say. I don't want to miss one show. Better put it on real quick. I just want to hear some s'mores. Best group of 4. What's Timon's pick? I can't help but sing along to the theme song in my mind. And when Harry says Ghostrunners podcast, it gets me every time. Is Brad a dad again? Did Jake meet another fan? I just got to know. And is Timon gonna sing? Is Hattie a guest today? Is Bo running off to play, or is Rachel on? Let's hear what she has to say.